Mystery Science Theater 3000 is one of the all-time cult classics. The show isn't for everybody, but for others, it's right up their alley. If you don't know the premise, it's basically an excuse to show a comically bad movie and have people crack jokes over it. There's always one host and two robot sidekicks. The human host changes, but Tom Servo and Crow T Robot are always there. Then there's the stuff about the host being trapped in space and mad scientists and what have you, but the opening theme song can explain it all to you. Over the course of MST3K, there have been 3 different hosts: Joel Hodgson, Mike Nelson, and Jonah Ray. We've chosen one episode from each of these 3 hosts that make a great introduction to their respective eras. Then, of course, we could recommend watching more episodes from each host. It's a great show after all. For Joel, it's Pod People. Many consider Manos, the Hands of Fate, the worst movie ever featured in an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. However, that's not a good introductory episode. That movie is mind-bogglingly bad. It's so bad it's hard for them to make too many strong jokes. Instead, go with Pod People. It's a cheesy E.T. ripoff that's laughably bad, and Joel and the bots have no problems riffing on it. Plus, the episode introduces some beloved or running gags. For Mike, going with Hobgoblins. Okay, so we're recommending a second movie about a menace from outer space. And yet, we have to. Hobgoblins is the best episode of MST3K. The movie just screams the 80s in a hilarious and wonderful way. Hobgoblins is a baffling riff on Gremlins, but with so much absurd ridiculousness thrown in. This episode also just isn't one that features Mike. It's one from after the show moved from Comedy Central to the Sci-Fi Channel. That means different mad scientists as well, so you get a further sense of the world of the show. And with Jonah, we're going with Star Crash. Instead of aliens coming to Earth from outer space, this movie takes place in outer space. It's another rip-off movie, this time of Star Wars. In terms of bad versions of Star Wars, it's maybe the worst, and definitely the most so bad it's good of the bunch. When the Jonah era debuted on Netflix, the show had been off the air for almost 20 years. It took a few episodes in the first season to get going, especially with a new host and new voices for the robots. By Star Crash though, they had figured it out, creating an episode of MST3K that stands up with the initial run, be it a Joel episode or a Mike episode. Thanks for watching this video. For more like it, be sure to subscribe to the Vents Magazine channel on YouTube. And as always, keep circulating the tapes.